Hi, Stu Wolf again. It's been quite a while since I've done a video. I think the last one I did was on the upgrade I did to my Shopsmith 510 to turn it into a PowerPro. I want to revisit that for a few minutes, and I'll talk about the other upgrades I've done and what I think of them. PowerPro. It cost me between $1,500 and $2,000 to do the upgrade. I did it myself. It was no big deal. It was no problem, and I honestly don't remember how much the actual cost was when I was done with shipping, handling, tax, and all that good stuff. But it was not a cheap upgrade, but I think it was a worthwhile upgrade. I started life with I started Shopsmith life with a Mark II that I had gotten used, had about a half-horse motor. Did not like to cut hardwood in any thickness aside from 3/4 inch, and wouldn't even cut 3/4 inch hardwood if you didn't have a nice sharp blade on it. It was just underpowered, and it had a Shopsmith name on it, but that was about it. It was not the quality of a Mark V. It was not built to be the quality of Mark V, I found out afterwards. I thought a Shopsmith was a Shopsmith. But I lived with it for 10 years, and it was fine. I learned to make do. Then I bought a Mark V, but I bought a 510. Wow, what a difference! I want to say that had a 1 horsepower motor, but it may have only been a 3/4. I honestly just don't remember. And it came, since it was a 510, it came with carbide tooth blade. This, that, and the other thing. So I went to carbide teeth instead of steel blades, and that was another, just massive step forward. So I was real happy with that. I ran that machine, which is this machine, or at least the basics of this machine, for over 30 years, and was pleased with it. Ran tens of thousands of linear feet of wood, not board feet. The linear feet of wood through this thing as a joiner, as a saw, as a lathe, any way I could. Disc sanding, belt sanding, lots of different ways. And it performed very well. After 30 some odd years, honestly, it was getting tired, so I elected I'd upgrade to the PowerPro. Not a cheap upgrade, but I did it. Since doing it, I have been, it's like a new machine. And it's a much more capable machine. It no longer bogs down at all. My test for it was I ran 2-inch red oak, seasoned red oak through it, and I was literally pushing as hard as I could to shove it through to try to stall it. I was unable to stall it. I can't remember even getting any real burn marks on it. It just, the motor kept chugging. Did it bog down a bit? Yeah, about 100 RPM. But when you're talking 3450 to start with, you're talking 3%. And it varies. I mean, 3450 is the middle, and it may go down to 2500. It may go up to 3500. It just goes. I'm sorry. Yeah, it may go up to not 2500. It may go to 3300 and go up to 3500. You get about 100 RPM variance in it. You're not going to get any closer than that with anything. I don't care if you get a 5-horse 220 motor, you're going to get some variance. That's the nature of the beast. It does great. It was well worth the investment I made. Since I made that investment, I decided I'd make some more investments. I wanted a shaper. Well, I went and priced a shaper. For a decent shaper, $2,000 to $2,500. But worse than that, I needed a fair amount of space in the shop to hold it. I don't have space in the shop. I'm working out of a 3-car garage here, and I got 2 cars in it. So, frequently I'll pull them out when I'm working wood because I don't want them to get dusty, but if it's winter or something like that and it's snowing or it's raining, I don't pull them out. I let them get dusty. There's this invention called a car wash, which is well worth the $10 it costs to run your car through it. But anyway, I digress. I decided I'd upgrade to 520 tables, and I would make it a Mark VII because I wanted a shaper. And I also bought, so I upgraded to, I did the Mark VII upgrade first, a dual tilt, and then I bought 520 tables, and then I went out and I bought the shaper kit, and I bought the router kit and everything else for this thing to turn it into a 520. I'm sorry, turn it into a Mark 7. Pleased as punch. If you talk dollars and cents, what I've got in it now completely is about what it would cost to buy a brand new Mark 7. But I've gotten 30 years use out of it, and I can't complain. I really can't. But that includes my initial purchase price and all upgrades, and I've got everything a Mark 7 would have plus some. A Mark 7 doesn't come with a belt sander. I've got a belt sander. A Mark 7 doesn't come with a joiner. I've got a joiner. Things like this. And so just, was it worth it? Yes, it was worth it. Was it expensive? Yes, it was expensive. But between space saving and capability, I can't ask for any more. People complain about tool changeovers. Well, if you plan your projects, and I'll be honest with you, I screw it up and don't plan properly at times. If you plan your projects and you do all the cutting you have to do while it's in table saw mode, get that done, set it aside, then you can move it to a different mode. And you're not doing that many changeovers. If you forget to do a couple table saw things and you're done doing, say you're doing your joining operations or something like that, and you say, oops, forgot to cut something, now you got to switch it back. It takes a couple minutes. Not that much time. But one of the nice things about it is I can take it from table saw mode to disc sanding mode and not move the table. And I'm set up at the same angles and everything else automatically. So, there are some really good things about it that if I was going from machine A to machine B to machine C, I would have to set up B to be the same as A if I wasn't just doing a straight rip cut or cross cut. And then I'd have to set up C to be the same as A and B, and so that takes time too. So there's a lot of noise about that. I don't really buy off on it because I make it work for me, and I find that it does real well. So that's just an update on what I'm doing. I'll grab this thing and I'll quickly just show you what the changes are and things like that, but I'm real pleased with it, and I think that, I'm still a Shopsmith proponent. So here we go. If you're going to change it over to a Mark 7, twist, turn. Okay, you end up coming down here and you've got this. I'm looking over the top of it. And instead of having a handle to loosen up, you loosen this up, and then you pick up your end and go that and put it up. But the best part is you've got one on this side now. Can I get it to? Yeah, you can see it now. You've got one on this side over here, and you can pick it up this way, which means you can put it into shaper mode and all that. I've still got the PowerPro headstock, and I didn't do a real good job of showing you the chart last time, but that's okay. You can hit chart, you hit confirm, then you tell it what you want to do. I don't know if you can see the thing. Let me tap that. I don't know if you can see it. This table saw right now, strip sanding, scroll saw, shaping, routing. We'll go to shaping. Confirm that. Is it hardwood? Is it MDF? Is it plywood? Is it softwood? Let's say it's hardwood. Boom. 9,500 RPM. We'll back up a little bit. We'll go back to the speed chart. And we'll go back to shaping. We're there. And let's say we want to do softwood. No, let's say we want to do plywood. MDF. Confirm. 10,000 RPM, not 9,500. So, lots of things you can do. I've got the 520 tables on it now. Much beefier, can you see? Yeah, much beefier rip fence. I really like it. I will tell you that if you just move it around, look, it's got a fair amount of movement in it. So you have to hold it by the rear casting and push it that way, and it'll lock up nicely. If you don't, and you move it this way, watch what happens. I start pushing this down, it locks into, it centers itself, gets itself straight. But, and I don't know if you can see this because of the angle of this. This is a ruler that's movable. And if I set it up without doing it right, to say 3 inches, I pull it in, guess what? Now I'm at 2 and 15/16. So if I move it this way, going like that, I get 3 inches, I pull it, it stays right on, lock them both down, and you've got 3 inches blade to here. Because Shopsmith has the quill feed, this is magnetic. The ruler is magnetic. So you can move it and set it exactly, and then you know where you are. That's all I'm going to give you today because I'm going really long in this. So you all have a great day. Bye.